Coming to the rescue. It was lovely. Try the, yeah. Oh, oh. You didn't even do anything. Yeah, it should be headphones. Be okay. Testing. That's working. Oh, it went back. It went back to the old time. Oh, oh, oh. It's not even showing the headphones. Oh. Oh, the baby. Okay, I'll turn it.
Join with me in consciousness for this meditation on loving kindness. If these words resonate with you, allow them to be the words of your own heart. I will continue in the first person, the I, as I affirm my oneness with all of life, seen and unseen. I begin this meditation on loving kindness by allowing myself to switch from the usual mode of doing to a mode of non-doing, of simply being. As my body becomes still, I bring my attention to the fact that I am breathing. And I become aware of the movement of my breath as it comes into my body and as it leaves my body. I relax, choosing not to manipulate the breath in any way or trying to change it. I relax. I become simply aware of it and of the feelings associated with breathing, and observing the breath deep down in my belly. feeling the abdomen as it expands gently on the in-breath and as it falls back towards my spine on the out-breath. Being totally here in each moment with each breath. Not trying to do anything, not trying to get any place. Simply being with my breath. I give full care and attention to each in-breath and to each out-breath as they follow one another in a never-ending cycle and flow. I know that if distracting thoughts arise, I simply acknowledge them and then return to the practice of gentle, natural breathing. And now I bring to mind someone for whom I have deep feelings of love. Seeing or sensing this person, I notice my feelings for them as they arise in my body. It may be simply a smile that spreads across my face, or my chest becomes warm. Whatever the effects, I allow them to be felt. Now, letting go of this person in my imagination, I continue the awareness of the feelings that have arisen. I bring my own self to mind now. I project an image of myself directly in front of me, looking at me. I offer loving kindness to myself by using these words. May I be happy. I choose happiness. May I be healthy. I choose health. May I ride the waves of life, for I choose easy, comfortable experiences. May I live in peace. I am peace. No matter what I am given, I'm supported by love, and all is well. And notice the feelings that arise, and let them be. As I look within myself with mindfulness and calmness, I now am comfortable and feel safe, and I choose to offer loving kindness to someone who supports me, who has always been on my side. I bring this person to mind, imagining them perhaps across from me, and letting these words become my words. May you be happy. I bless your happiness. May you be healthy. I celebrate your health. May you ride the waves of life. I bless your easy, comfortable experiences. May you live in peace. I see you as peace. No matter what you are given, you are supported by love, and all is well. As my feelings flow easily to this loved one, I turn my attention now to someone with whom I have difficulty. I do not choose the most difficult person, but someone who brings up feelings or irritation or annoyance. I now open up to allowing these words to become my words as I keep this person in my awareness. May you be happy. I bless your happiness. May you be healthy. I celebrate your health. May you ride the waves of life. I bless your easy, comfortable experiences. May you live in peace, for I see you as peace. No matter what you are given, you are supported by love, and all is well. I I notice the sensations and feelings that arise within me. I know the transforming power of love is flowing through me now. I gently allow my feelings and let them be. And now I bring to mind the broader community of which I am a part. I imagine my family, my workmates, my neighbors, and I now fan out my attention until I include all persons and creatures on earth. I also include myself in this offering of loving kindness. As I let these words become my words, imagining the oneness, my existence in this oneness. May I be happy. I choose happiness. May I be healthy. I choose health. May I ride the waves of life. I choose easy, comfortable experiences. May I live in peace. I am peace. No matter what I am given, I am supported by love, and all is well. I again notice the sensation. Good morning, everyone. And in spite of the technical difficulties that caused a disruption in this meditation, please join me again in consciousness. As I breathe and relax, knowing that in spite of challenges, conflicts, or any situation that arises that doesn't seem to be within my control, I release and I let go. I allow myself to be fully present in this moment, knowing that in spite of what things may look like, that God is at the heart, at the source. And so it is good. And if it doesn't appear to be good, it's unfolding good. And so I breathe and I relax. And I recognize that the good is unfolding in my life and my affairs, and in everyone's life and affairs. And as I bless this beautiful day, thinking about Mother's Day, and how each and every one of us is always birthing something new through the soul of who we are, desiring to express and creating it in our reality through our thoughts, feelings, and beliefs. And so right now, in this very moment, I choose to allow goodness, fulfillment, love, insight, and joy to be my reality. I allow the understanding that there is this ever-loving, infinite presence that is at the core of who I am. And as I allow it to be the mothership for me, my life unfolds in the most amazing ways. Even in moments of challenge, I'm able to see, if not in my real eyes, but in my mind's eye, that something good is unfolding as a consequence of this. And perhaps it's just a new way of looking at things. Perhaps it's just more patience, more compassion, more love and understanding. I know it is unfolding now. So join with me in this short affirmative prayer treatment. This is what I know in this moment. God is all there is. It is an infinite presence, a pure field of potentiality. It is the absolute. It is beyond understanding, and yet it is intimate and personal with me. And I, as a consequence, am at the center of it. It is all of me, and it is so much more. And so from this place, I know that I initiate my life experiences through my thoughts, feelings, and beliefs. And so today I choose good ones. I choose happy ones. I choose harmony, balance, homeostasis. It feels so good. And I know as I choose it, it shows up in my life in ways that sometimes I couldn't have even imagined. Why is that? Because God has so much more for me than my limited thinking. And so when I allow Spirit to be at the helm, amazing, amazing things begin to occur in my life. And this deep sense of joy and peace grow within me. And I become a beacon for everyone who sees me. I become an example. And more of that which I am is attracted to me. And life becomes even more wondrous. At times peaceful, calm. At other times bubbly and jubilant. It's all God, it's all good. So I allow myself to be grateful now. Grateful in every way. Grateful that I'm here. Grateful that I'm breathing. Grateful that I have this now moment to choose whatever it is that I choose. I choose to be happy. I choose to feel safe. I choose to allow ultimate health and wholeness and vitality to be my reality. I choose to be guided in all my ways to bring this about. I am grateful. I relax as I release. I release these words into the arms of love, into divine spirit, knowing that the how is not up to me. I'm just willing to express the outcome. So I let it go and I let it be so. Please join with me in saying, and so it is. And we'll be back in 5 minutes.
I'm going to keep on meditating. Is there anything else we need? No.
Good morning, everyone. I'm Reverend Anna Hokangas, and happy Mother's Day. And I'm so delighted to be here with Emilio Zaras again. I'm so glad you're willing to make the trip to come out here and do this live with me. It makes such a difference too, doesn't it, when we're not just on a little screen by ourselves? Yeah, so we're so happy that you're here with us, and I hope that you will enjoy. We're going to begin with a few songs first. So Emilio, what are we doing first?
We're going to start with Ricky Byers Beckwith's Holy, Holy Way. Join me in singing, please. Here we go. Oh, let me love in a holy, holy way. Let me love in a holy, holy way. Oh, let me love in a holy, holy way. Let me love in a holy, holy way. Oh, let me know that love is all around. Let me know that love is all around. Oh, let me know that love is all around. Let me know that love is all around. Oh, let me love in a holy, holy way. Oh, let me love in a holy, holy way. Oh, let me love in a holy, holy way. Oh, let me love in a holy, holy way. Oh, let me live in a holy, holy way. Let me live in a holy, holy way. Oh, let me learn from all the ways I fall. Let me learn from all the ways I fall. Oh, let me know that love can heal us all. Let me know that love can heal us all. Oh, let me know that love can heal us all. Let me know that love can heal us all. Oh, let me live in a holy, holy way. Oh, let me live in a holy, holy way. Oh, let me live in a holy, holy way. Oh, let me live in a holy, holy way. Oh, let me serve in a holy, holy way. Let me serve in a holy, holy way. Oh, let me serve in a holy, holy way. Let me serve in a holy, holy way. Oh, let me share the good that's overflowing. Let me share the good that's overflowing. Oh, let me care for those around the world. Let me care for all around the world. Oh, let me serve in a holy, holy way. Oh, let me serve in a holy, holy way. Oh, let me serve in a holy, holy way. Oh, let me serve in a holy, holy way. Woo. Oh, let me live in a holy, holy way. Let me live in a holy, holy way. Oh, let me share the good that's overflowing. Let me share the good that's overflowing. Oh, let my steps reveal the path of peace. Let my steps reveal the path of peace. Oh, let me talk each day a little kinder. Let me talk each day a little kinder. Oh, let me live in a holy, holy way. Oh, let me live in a holy, holy way. Oh, let me live in a holy, holy way. Oh, let me live in a holy, holy way. Oh, let me serve in a holy, holy way. Oh, let me serve in a holy, holy way. Oh, let me love in a holy, holy way. Oh, let me love in a holy, holy way. Oh, let me love in a holy, holy way. Let me love in a holy, holy way. Oh, let me love in a holy, holy way. Let me love in a holy, holy way.
Thank you, Emilio.
Thank you.
That is probably one of my all-time favorite songs by Ricky Byers. And I actually communicated with her this week, and she's just delighted to have us using her song. And for Gertie, who's out there listening, that song was for you, too. So the next one, Amazing Grace.
That saved and strengthens me. I once was lost, but now I'm found. Was blind, but now I see. 'Twas grace that brought my heart to sing, and grace my fears relieved. How precious did that grace appear the hour I first believed. Through many dangers, toils, and snares, I am already past. 'Twas grace that brought me safe thus far to freedom that will last. When we've been there 10,000 years, bright shining as the sun, we've no less things to sing God's praise than when we first begun. This grace will lead us home. This grace
Then join with me in consciousness from this place of grace. Grace will lead us home. In this moment, in this place, I remember who I am and whose I am. O great Mother, Father, God, the source of my being, on this glorious Mother's Day, I bless my existence and the existence of all of life. I bless the fact that each and every one of us is constantly birthing our reality. And that in that way, each of us is Mother, Father, God, in the core of our being. And so it's from this place that I declare all is good. And that somehow, some way, it continues to get better and better in every way. So with a grateful heart, I let go and I let it be so. Please join with me in saying, and so it is.
You are the face of God. You are the face of God. I hold you in my heart. You are a part of me. You are the face of God. You are the face of God. I hold you in my heart. You are a part of me. You are the face of God. You are the face of God. I hold you in my heart. You are a part of me. You are the face of God. You are the face of God. You are the face of God. I hold you in my heart. I hold you in my heart. You are a part of me. You are a part of me. You are the face of God. 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 I hold you in my heart. I hold you in my heart. You are a part of me. You are a part of me. You are the face of God. 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 I hold you in my heart. I hold you in my heart. You are a part of me. You are a part of me. You are the face of God. 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 I hold you in my heart. I hold you in my heart. You are a part of me. You are a part of me. You are the face of God. You are the face of God. You are the face of God. I hold you in my heart. You are a part of me. You are the face of God. You are the face of God.
Yes, you are the face of God. You look so good, darling. Today's daily word. This is actually from 1964 because I really liked it, so I thought this is the one that we'll do today. And the daily word is Mother's Day. I rededicate myself to being the best person that I can be. On this Sunday, designated in part of the world as Mother's Day, our thoughts turn to the influence of a mother in the life of her children. We are very conscious of all that the mother contributes to their growth, and our love reaches out to enfold mothers everywhere. Even as our love reaches out to enfold mothers, it also encircles those others who have unselfishly given care, love, inspiration, direction in our life. For many of us, it is easy to speak or write some loving sentiment to our mother. For others, this is not possible. But we can always send our blessing to that one who has meant so much to us. She and all that she represents is ever a part of God's love. And as our prayer wings its way to the very heart of God, we shall be inspired anew to aim at some of the goals every mother's heart would set for her child. To be the best person we can be, to be the most loving person we can be, to be the most productive person we can be. And from Exodus 20:12, honor thy mother. So this year we're focusing on Perfect Vision 2020, seeing through a spiritual lens. And it is really a very different way of looking at life, to look through a spiritual lens, to be able to look not at the external, but to start to focus on the internal. Because as we focus on the internal, the external starts to change for us. Listen to your heart is our theme for the month of May. And of course, our heart, we believe, and maybe it's a metaphor, that this is where God resides, in the center of each of us, in our heart. And so you might call it intuition, you might call it your God self, but I believe our heart is actually our soul, that connection that we have to spirit. And that when we listen to our heart, the most amazing things begin to occur. So this week, we're going to look at looking for God, the sweet spot, and the practice of listening. So let's take a few moments just to focus on the idea of mom. I know that many of you out there are not mothers, and that's okay. But you are the mother of your reality, of your life and your thoughts and your beliefs. So on some level, each and every one of us is a mom. We may not have birthed an individual, but we're constantly birthing our life. And so let's just take a moment now, whether it be focusing on our own mothers, because we all do have one of those, whether she be here or has made her transition, and just send love from the core of your being to Mom. I love you. You know that song, Looking for Love in All the Wrong Places? Well, I was thinking about this idea of looking for God, and thought if Emilio and I would have had the time, we could have maybe created a song about looking for God in all the wrong places. But we didn't get a chance to do that this week. I don't know if you realize that whenever you're looking for the answers outside of you, you are actually looking for God in all the wrong places. Because though God is beyond who each and every one of us is, God is at the center of who we are. And when we do prayer work and meditation and readings that remind us that the voice is within our heart, the voice of God, our soul, our spirit, that then it allows for a very different way of living. So what came to mind was the old movie, The Wizard of Oz. How many of you have seen that? So I'd like to look at that from a metaphysical perspective. So this is something that Dorothy and the good witch Glinda were talking about. Dorothy says, "Oh, will you help me? Can you help me?" And Glinda says, "You don't need to be helped any longer. You've always had the power. Go back to Kansas." "I have," Dorothy said. The Scarecrow then says, "Why didn't you tell her before?" Glinda says, "Because she wouldn't have believed me. She had to learn it for herself." The Tin Man, "What have you learned, Dorothy?" Dorothy, "Well, I think that it wasn't just enough to want to see Uncle Henry and Aunt Em. And it's that if I ever go looking for my heart's desire again, I won't look any further than my own backyard." And Glinda says, that's all it is. And so in the story of The Wizard of Oz, we're invited to this idea that you can have all kinds of experiences, and they can be helping others, they can be really fantastical, they can be all kinds of things, scary even. And yet, at the core of our being, we can always return to that core, to that inner self, to that inner wisdom. And it's represented in this movie with her red, sparkling slipper shoes, and that when she clicks the heels together, that she gets to go back home. And so for us, it's more of a making a choice, remembering that as I've put myself looking for the answers out there, that as soon as I start to look for the answers within, that's like clicking my heels. So Dorothy wishes she could be anywhere else, somewhere that she might be appreciated. It's our nature to go out and seek fortune and fame and love and adventure. That's what drives us. Somehow we think that it's our good is out there. And sure, we learn and we grow through our experiences. But I don't know about you, I'm 64, or almost 64. I'm recognizing now that my good was always exactly where I was, exactly where I am right now. And when I'm able to make peace with that, then all the rest of it is just like peanut butter and jelly in the middle of a sandwich. It's just a bonus. So this is what Dorothy learned. We have the power. We have the ruby red slippers to transport us to Kansas, to bring about the Edenic state or create our heart's desire. She also learned that witches and cyclones, while bad, can be a means for spiritual growth. And I mean, in this time of pandemic, in times of conflict, it really is an opportunity to choose either the external or the internal. And both are spiritual growth when they're done from awareness. The third thing she learned was we must learn for ourselves. Truth is not given so much as it is realized. Look within. I mean, how many times has someone told you, I told you 100 times, but you just don't believe me? And the thing is that until we have that aha moment, we have that experience, it really is just words, isn't it? So look within. You do not have to go off in search of a mystic or seek truth from a variety of exotic religions. Truth is found in your own backyard, or like we like to say, in your own heart. 4, she realizes that reality is very simple. We create our own reality. We tend to make it more complicated than it needs be. The simple universal fact is that if we believe it to be so, it is. So what's showing up in your life right now that you believe is the reality and you're making it so? 5, there's no place like home. The kingdom of heaven is not a place, but a condition. Listen to that one. You're not aspiring to go somewhere, the kingdom of heaven. And we always look up when we say heaven as though it's this destination. But the kingdom of heaven is a state of mind, a consciousness. And you can choose to be there. Sometimes in the depths of darkness or despair, it's a little harder to get there, and it might be the next most comfortable feeling. You can't go to euphoria from deep depression just like that. But it happens in increments, and it starts with your intention. We live in a world that provides us with many opportunities to distract ourselves from life. And right now, with this social and physical distancing, we've taken away a lot of the distractions, haven't we? I don't know about you, but have you found yourself feeling a little squirrely at times? And why is that? Again, because we're so used to external stimuli. I mean, we are perfect just the way we are, completely alone without any other person. But we're made more whole. We feel more whole when we experience ourselves with other people. And so at this time of social distancing, you may be completely alone, and the only interaction you have is on the phone or on the internet. Please do that, because it does create more wholeness. Let's begin the practice of listening to our heart, to our true voice, which is the voice of our own soul. We get caught in this swirl of daily life, and we forget that the gift has already been given. Sometimes, because we're so distracted, everything we are looking for was right with us all along, to paraphrase Glinda, the Good Witch. So we're getting an opportunity right now. It really is a gift. We're getting the opportunity to really, really get introspective at times. So the sweet spot. What does that mean for you, the idea of the sweet spot? I think of it spiritually like the mystical experience. The invitation then is to find the still point, the sweet spot of quieting the mind and listening to the heart. So what activity have you been doing lately that allows you to be in that sweet spot? I know for me, it's things like listening to someone sing like Emilio does. It really causes everything else that I'm concerned about or thinking about to just fall away. And I'm able to be totally in the now, totally present, and I really call that the sweet spot. Sometimes it's in the artwork that I do. For others, I've heard that it's in baking bread and kneading the dough and feeling how the strands of gluten start to come together and literally having a communication with that bread dough as it's being kneaded, as it's starting to evolve into what will eventually be a loaf of bread. For someone else, it's digging in the garden and getting their hands covered in soil and the smell of the earth and the water and the plants. And that's the sweet spot. And that's when that still small voice that is your heart, that is spirit within you, has the opportunity to gently, gently speak to you. So for regardless of the nature and size of our gifts, we're always holding off the storm of the world to hear the music that runs through everything. That's Mark Nepo, 7,000 Ways to Listen. That is an absolutely fabulous book if you're looking for one that really speaks to your heart. So remember that for regardless of the nature and size of our gifts, whatever your gifts might be, know that there's always challenges. Life's always going to present challenges. It's how we cope with that, what we do with that, how we create our reality in the midst of that really makes the difference. We all face this tension in what to listen to, the storm or the music, the gift waiting within our seeming lack of worth. What do you think about that? Do you feel that there's a tension? Like you're being asked to pay attention to the stuff that's going on, the news, the advertising, somebody else's problem, all of your own problems, all of those things. And yet, when you take a moment to be in that sweet spot, all of that goes away. And you know, there's such a relief in that. There's a physical healing that actually occurs when you allow yourself to be in that sweet spot more often. competition for our attention, the time of noise, the time of harmony, the time of self-acceptance, the time of endless comparing ourselves to others. I mean, these are all things that are taking our attention away. And so our spiritual practice at this time is even more important, to take the time to be able to find that sweet spot, whatever it is. I spoke to my son this morning, who's in northern Finland, and they go cycling on a regular basis, 20 kilometers or more, depending on how much time they have. And for him, the wind in his face, the pain in his thigh muscles, the exhilaration of pushing his body to the limit is his sweet spot. What's yours? Breathe deeply and listen to your heart. So take a moment now and just feel it brighten the closer you are to the still point. Pardon me. Breathe deeply and feel your oneness with your heart. What ideas are rising within you right now? Think of a time when you felt the tension between holding off the storm and listening for the deeper music in life. How did you cope with this? What did this experience teach you? Okay, so the most evident thing right now is this COVID-19. So how am I coping with it? I have my moments of feeling what I call squirrely, but generally speaking, I go to those activities, and I shared some of them with you already, that allow me to be in that sweet spot, that allow for me to just not be concerned about things that I have no control over, and really truly just be in my own essence, in my own presence. And I'll give you an example of that. We were looking at the music that we play and the music that we're singing here on our live stream. And because this is a very new way of doing spiritual experiences online, as churches traditionally, we are able to sing and perform and have you experience every song that's ever been written. But as soon as it becomes part of the internet archives, YouTube archives, it falls under the category of copyright. And unless you have permission for the use of that, a license to use that particular song, even if you've done it in your own version, that there are copyright issues. And so I've been in the background looking at how I might resolve some of that, because there are some songs like Somewhere Over the Rainbow, and you might think of Oh, What a Wonderful World, and what were some of the others we were talking about, Emilio, that were really lovely songs that we'd like to do?
Even Ave Maria and all that.
Yeah, Ave Maria, and like all of those kind of songs. It's really interesting that we can't do them based on this new genre. And so I was sitting in my sweet spot, and a little voice in my head said, why don't you contact Ricki Byers, who was from Agape. She used to be married to Michael Beckwith. And to me, she is like the queen of music, the queen of spirituality. She has written and done so many amazing songs, and I had no idea whether she would respond. I sent her a messenger message. 5 minutes later, she sent me an email. And my query was, is it possible for me to use your song, Holy, Holy Way? And would you happen to have an instrumental of it so that we could use it and Emilio could sing with it? And 5 minutes later, she sent me the link, and she said she's more than happy to, and that within the next month, she's going to provide another 20 songs and the instrumentals for those songs for free for our community. And I was just, I was astounded. It's almost like having the Prime Minister contact you after you sent them an email. It really was honoring and wondrous and humbling that she was willing to respond, and that she responded in such a gracious way. But that is how Spirit works. And when we're allowed the time, when we give ourselves the time to hold off the storm
and listen to the deeper music of life, the answers come in the most amazing ways, in the most loving ways. So thank you, Ricky. If you ever see this, thank you very much. We love you. We bless you. Remember a time when you felt the tension between your grief and your heart, and how ultimately that grief went from anger and despair to a deepening love, to an abiding love. And that in your grief, if that's what you're experiencing right now, you may not be in that heart-opening place quite yet. But there is a promise that you will be, because that's how God works. The challenge to take what we hear, despite of our own diminishments or our own thoughts of unworthiness, and make whatever music we can for as long as we can. Our challenge is to keep listening, to keep meeting life where it shows up, and to know that within you is all the guidance, all the wisdom that you ever need. And so you may put your ruby red slippers on and click your heels, or just simply listen to a beautiful song, or go dig in the garden, or something. Whatever brings you closer to your heart, because that will allow for you to meet life in the most empowering way. The practice of listening, to listen to your heart, is to love yourself. C.S. Lewis said, "To love at all is to be vulnerable. Love anything and your heart will be wrung and possibly broken. If you want to make sure of keeping it intact, you must not give it to anyone, not even an animal." And isn't that the truth? That the world is full of contrast. How do you know up if you don't know down? Or how do you know hot if you don't know cold? How do you know love if you haven't experienced the lack of it or the broken heart? Many of you are fortunate to have pets. And boy, is it wonderful to have them in your life right now, isn't it? They quietly exist in our world, just being loving. We happen to have an empty house at the moment. We had as many as 5 pets at one time, and they have all died of old age. And I think about how my heart was broken with every one of them when they passed. And yet at the same time, all of the joy and love that they brought into my world. So whether you have people in your life or pets or both, know that they are a gift, and being vulnerable, being willing to just be open to love is always a huge reward. So this again from C.S. Lewis: wrap it carefully round with hobbies and little luxuries. Avoid all entanglements. Lock it up safe in the casket or coffin of your selfishness. And again, he's talking about your heart. You can do that, and you can camouflage the fact that your heart really wants to be open by buying things, by being busy, and you fill in the blanks, whatever that might be. As soon as you start to open up your heart, you open up a whole world of possibilities. But in that casket, safe, dark, motionless, airless, it will change. It will not be broken. It will become unbreakable, impenetrable, irredeemable. To love is to be vulnerable. And what C.S. Lewis is saying there is that if you never allow your heart to be open, that it eventually gets so hard that you can't love at all. So please, be vulnerable. Be willing to love. It's worth it. To listen to your heart is to be vulnerable. And it may not be something you're willing to share with others, to say, today I have decided I'm going to listen to God more. They may look at you and say, well, okay. The thing is that once you do, and I'm sure many of you have many times already followed that inner guidance, no matter how scary or unusual the promptings might be, and how fantastic the end result is. It's an invitation to be vulnerable. When we are in the practice of listening to our hearts, we are then able to be in relationship with others in a more authentic and compassionate way. I spent a good part of my life really concerned that people might actually see the real me, that I made mistakes, that I wasn't perfect and all of those things. And it was a very awful place actually to live because I was always afraid. I was always weighing my words, always worried about how I looked, always worried about what the next step was going to be, always trying to read the room, that I can keep things kind of in harmony and in balance. It was exhausting. I don't know if you've ever lived that way, but I certainly did. And going into ministry, and I'm not inviting all of you to go into ministry, but being on a spiritual path means being open, being willing to make mistakes, to just be who you are, to have someone disagree with you, to have someone even think you're crazy. It's okay. I love you. So here's an affirmation for you. I practice my gift of complete freedom by listening to my higher self, and I completely trust the process. So do you want to say that with me? I practice my gift of complete freedom by listening to my higher self, and I completely trust the process. So this week we've looked at listening to your heart, looking for God in all the wrong places, and finding that sweet spot, whether it be in digging in the garden, listening or creating a song, doing artwork, looking into the eyes of someone you love. Whatever it might even be just looking out the window and watching the clouds. And then we looked at the practice of listening. Are you ready? Are you ready to listen to your heart? Are you ready in this time of things slowing down a little bit to see what's bubbling up in you as you? How can you be more of who you really are? How can you be more authentic? I know the answers are within you. How do I know that? Because I've found them within me, and I know if I can do it, so can you. I love you, and so it is. So I practice my gift of complete freedom by listening to my higher self, and I completely trust the process. And let's anchor that with one power, Daniel Nahmod.
One power. There's one power invisible, and you see it everywhere and every day. One power indescribable, and you speak of it with every word you say. Mysterious until you know the truth. As simple as the love inside of you. Call it God, call it Spirit, call it Jesus, call it Lord, call it Buddha, Baha'u'llah, angels' wings or heaven's door. But whatever name you give it, it's all one power, can't you see? It's the power of the love in you and me. One power, oh, one power, one power. We speak so many languages, have different clothing, different colors, different names, but different is only dangerous when we forget that in our hearts we're all the same. And we'll remember when we close our eyes to see that such distances were never meant to be. Call it God, call it Spirit, call it Jesus, call it Lord, call it Buddha, Baha'u'llah, Hashem, or heaven's door. It's Muhammad, it's your mind, it's your soul, or it's your sign. It's the universe, it's music, Mother Earth or Father Time. But whatever name you give it, it's all one power, can't you see? Whatever name you give it, it's the very air we breathe. It's the power of the love in you and me. One power, oh, one power, one power. One power, one power, one power. It's the moment of creation. It's an everlasting peace. It's the freedom of forgiveness. It's the sweetness of release. It's a joy of inspiration. It's the sunshine on your face. It's the birthright of all nations. It's the boundlessness of space. It's the beauty of a baby, the serenity of sleep. It's the anger we abandon for its love that's most deep. It's one power, one power. What we are is one. One power. It's the power of the love that lives forever in you and me. It's the power of the love in you and me. One power.
Oh, perfect, perfect. Don't you feel good? Isn't your heart just open listening to that? So join with me in this giving affirmation. From the love of pure spirit in me, I bless this gift. I send it forth to heal and bless and prosper. It is evidence of my faith. It does great work in the world, and it returns to me multiplied abundantly. And I thank you so much for your generosity. At the end of this video, there's instructions on how you can send us your donations if you so choose. So Emilio has agreed to do Ave Maria, and it is just a beautiful song. And I think of mothers all over the world when I think of this song.
Our Divine Mother. Benedicta tu in mulieribus et benedictus fructus ventris tui, Iesu. Ave Maria.
Oh, if my heart wasn't open before, it sure is now. This is a great time to go into our prayer requests. So let's begin first with just thinking about our mothers. Whether we've had a great relationship or a not so great relationship, there is such a blessing to have had a mother. Because here we are, each of us, with an opportunity to be this unique expression of the divine. And so from that place, I say thank you. Thank you, thank you for my life and for all that I have. For if it wasn't for you, I wouldn't be here at all. So I bless you. I love you. And I release you into the love of the universe. I am so grateful. And so it is. And if you have a prayer request, please go to our website. On the menu bar it says prayer. You can click on that, and there are many ways that you can connect with us in prayer. And let's do this prayer together. For with God nothing shall be impossible. So join with me. The infinite mind of God fills my consciousness with all I need to live a full and happy life. I follow the guidance. I am peaceful. I release all fear. I am living love, and so it is. And O Mother God by Karen Drucker is how we will end this episode today.
And Karen Drucker is also the other who's given so generously.
She has.
We love you, Karen.
We love you, Karen.
Thank you for your songs and music. Oh, Mother God, blessed be. Oh, Mother God, flowing through our hearts, we give thanks for the bread of our lives, for the hands in the earth and the fruit of your womb. Oh, Mother God, blessed be. Oh, Mother God, blessed be. Oh, Mother God, flowing through our hearts, we give thanks for the bread of our lives, for the hands in the earth and the fruit of your womb. Oh, Mother God, blessed be. Oh, Mother God, blessed be. Oh, Mother God, thank you for this day, for the love that you wash over me, and this joy in my heart I will share with the world. Oh, Mother God, blessed be. Oh, Mother God, blessed be. Oh, Mother God, thank you for this day.
Beautiful. Thank you, everyone. It's been great to be with you. Have a great week.